2025 brought some changes in the cold mailing world, but one trend stands out, and it's equally followed by big agencies and smaller senders, granting them both advantage over their competitors. Behold, as 2025 just dropped a cheat code: backup infrastructure, the fail-safe engine that can save your ass and your business. Let me tell you about the perks and tweaks behind it, why it works, and how come it saves you a ton of time and effort. Let's dive right into it. Yeah, the rules have changed. We know that, you know that. You can't send as many emails as you used to, and you need to adapt to the new landscape of mailing. Well, all right, but how do I do that, you may ask? Well, you need some edge over your, of course, competitors, but also over the challenges of the modern world of email providers and their more and more advanced spam filters. And on top of that, you still need to follow the very best sending practices. Yeah, so that's a lot. But the 2025 cheat code backup infrastructure can help you with that. So first of all, what do I mean when I say backup infrastructure? Infrastructure is what you send from. So it's the combination of all your domains and mailboxes and how you set it up and how you use it. Obviously, you need something to send from, but rarely anyone thinks about having something not to send from. Why would you pay for something that you don't utilize, etc.? Yeah, well, because you don't want to wait longer or pay more once you need to utilize it. So nowadays, more and more people are creating a backup standalone infrastructure, usually around the size of 30% of their existing utilized infrastructure. They're not sending from it, they keep it in the warm-up, taking care of its reputation and basically making sure it's ready to be used once that becomes a burning necessity. Why it's such an advantage in 2025? There is a couple of reasons. Flexibility. The main goal is to stay flexible. 2025 is as challenging as it gets in terms of cold mailing, so you need to adapt. More and more rules from major providers, more advanced spam filters. I'm repeating myself, but I can't stress this enough. It's getting more and more difficult. So why be flexible? Well, to counteract any issues which are more likely to come up in 2025. Backup infrastructure allows you to be exactly this, flexible. You run into any deliverability issues, your open rates drop, your bounce rate jumps up, no problem. You rotate in different mailboxes, different domains. Different, not new, as they are not technically new because they have already been in warm-up or still are preparing for the send-out. That's the definition of the backup. So you rotate in such mailboxes, switching out the ones that underperform. You don't waste any time. You don't have to pause your send out. You don't have to explain any interruptions to your customers. You simply keep it seamless. Deliverability. Having backup infrastructure allows you to minimize the impact of any deliverability issues. And well, no point in hiding that those can happen in 2025, but you can be ready for that. If you can act quickly, you can minimize the damage here. You spot any troubles, you switch the mailbox out. You put it to warm up, you let it rest. You save yourself from banning the domain, from stretching its reputation, from unnecessarily losing good leads. In short, saving yourself a ton of trouble. That's the way of a true deliverability master. Pricing. I told you about the advantages of such backup infrastructure and why it's almost necessary nowadays. But one question remains: cost. It has been the obstacle back in the days, but it's not that much of an obstacle anymore, as the cost of infrastructure is relatively lower today. What's more, you have a plethora of choices, a ton of alternatives from mailboxes to Zapmail and Infraforge, and hundreds more. You can buy a domain as cheap as $13 a year and a mailbox for $4 a month. You can get it even cheaper if you find a good reseller. But that's not all. Another aspect makes this cheat code even more accessible, and it's convenience. How can having a separate infrastructure to maintain and overlook be in any shape or form convenient? Well, it can actually save you some time. There are some tools that kinda became all-in-one tools to address the growing popularity of such backup solutions. Woodpecker is one example. In this case, a sending machine turned into an infrastructure hub and now allows you to set up domains and mailboxes in one place, in that very same tool you use to send. Did I mention convenience? Yeah. Such approach to the backup infrastructure helps you get some painful duties off your shoulders, like DNS setup. No more technical struggles of setting up SPF, DKIM, DMARC, no more figuring out how to set it up for different providers, etc. It's all set up for you, so always aim for a solution that helps you with that. All-in-one tools usually do that for you. But that's not where convenience ends. You also need warm-up, and all-in-one tools are, well, called that for a reason. Choose a tool that allows you to set up and maintain an infrastructure, but also warm it up. Because eventually that's the core of the backup mailboxes. They need to be ready to send, so they need to have good reputation. And so they either need to spend some time in warm-up or simply remain in the warm-up mode until you need them in action. Can you see how your infrastructure already kind of creates and sustains itself? Even though it might feel like a big deal, especially if volume is not your main KPI, backup infrastructure is still a good idea. You just need to scale it properly. Even if you use 3 domains and 10 mailboxes, you can have 1 domain and 3 mailboxes as a backup running in the warm-up, ready to be used. The more you have, the better, as it allows you for better flexibility. But I would aim for around 30% as a safe estimate. Now, how do you calculate that? We came up with a simple sheet to help you count that. And excuse the simplicity of the form, but hey, we deliver the value, right? And this calculator helps you assess how many domains and mailboxes you might need for your outreach, but also how much of a backup infrastructure should you have in that scenario. So depending on what data you have based on number of emails you need to send or average reply rate you get, you can precisely calculate how many mailboxes you should have to follow the best practices. You can find the link in the description. Check it out and let me know if you need any help with your calculations. So what do you think about that? From my point of view, this can be a game changer for some serious cold email senders in 2025. I already have some clients who are doing this big time. This can simply give you the advantage you were looking for. This can solve the problems you've been dealing with for the last couple of months. It's no longer difficult, it's no longer time consuming, it's no longer costly. And it might become necessary nowadays. So get yourself a proper tool like Woodpecker. Set up an infrastructure with all the DNS records in place, get it to warm up and get miles ahead of your competitors. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you need some more guidance with that, always reach out to us. I'll see you in the next video once there is another big thing or new trend. This one does not really feel like a summer trend. It's much more reasonable and long-term. That's why I like it, and that's why I brought it to you. Subscribe to our channel if you want to be up to date with all the recent news in the industry. Take care. Cheers.